is, everybody, and welcome to the OnePride podcast, where we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And I'm coming on a little bit early. I had it scheduled for noon. I got the Ant-Man coming on here. I sent him a link. I told him noon. Maybe he'll come on a little bit earlier now. But that is because Terrion Arnold got injured in practice. Terrion Arnold and Derrick Barnes injured in practice, being the latest Detroit Lions players on defense to get injured. It has been injury after injury after injury, and it is still plaguing our Detroit Lions. So let's get the latest here on these guys, because I'm trying to get it from everybody that we know that is there. Derrick Barnes, Terrion Arnold left practice early today and being evaluated for their further injuries. Hand injury for Derrick Barnes, Terrion Arnold for a leg injury. Another quick note, Lions practice, Graham Glasgow took first team snaps at center. Tate Ratledge over right guard position. So two big things that is coming up. And, oh yeah, we could talk about the Chicago Bears having a lot of issues over there, but, folks, injured again. Injury-prone team on defense for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. So let's talk about the injuries that we have now sustained so far in training camp. Well, but in training camp, or coming into training camp, right? We know Lee McNeil, he's actually going to come back early, so that's actually great news there. Derrick Barnes, Josh Paschal, Mekhi Wingo, Khalil Dorsey, he's been still dealing with his stuff. And then coming in, with injuries that just took place here. Again, Terrion Arnold injured, right? So he goes down for the Lions. We don't know the severity of it yet. Derrick Barnes with a hand injury. Not good news for the Lions right now. That's not good news, not good injury news. Now, we don't know the extent of the injury, so it could be something minor. It could be something not much of a big deal. But that's one thing. Also, Lions brought in linebacker Kazir White for a visit. The 29-year-old vet has a ton of experience coming off this season, as we know. Could that be the issue with our linebacker, Alex Anzalone? Let's see. Will Mike, the last part name, Hunt be a good quarterback for the Detroit Lions? Well, we got Jared Goff. Mr. Hunt wouldn't be. Let's see. I think that we're all still a little bit shocked from last year. They'll be okay. It's starting off bad with the injuries. And a lot of people said that, it can't be as worse as it was last year in regards to the injuries. It's not starting off too hot right now. That's all I got to say. It's not. Did TA post to social media about it? No, all the beat writers that are there seen it happen. They also had to quit practice early again because it got too physical. Now, I love physicality. I do. But 2 days in a row, and it's going to get chippy. Tomorrow, the pads come on. It's going to get chippy there. But I don't know. We got to figure out what is it's the weirdest thing that we're having, just injuries on defense after injury after it's each day. That's the only thing. I literally, my whole video, when I send you a video after training camp, when I'm doing whatever is done, or practice is done each day, it's injury is my number one thing. Injury. It's like, can we withstand with not having injuries? I don't know if we can right now, because it's not good. Also, 3:20 today, I'm going to be on the Huge Show on ESPN Radio. Check that out. And on the 31st, I co-host the show. Super excited about that. Talking Detroit Lions before the preseason game. So I'm going to co-host the show from 3 to 6. Then I'll get back home. We'll start the stream at probably 6:45. The game starts at 8 p.m. We'll get into it. Good to see you, Mike. What's up, Omri? In the building. Just telling you right now that we haven't... Oh, I did just see the Ant-Man is in the building. Ant-Man, sorry, I had to get on a little bit early because of the injury news.
I know you caught me off guard a bit there, but yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens with training camp, isn't it? These guys have spent months dormant, not doing a great deal, and then you get into camp, you start taking some hits, and we've seen some little knocks and that already. Ennis, all these guys, so you're just hoping they're minor things that are going on at this point, but. Obviously, I think we're just all suffering trauma from last year and how many guys were out last year. And every time you see the word injury and one of our guys now, you're like, oh God, please, please not again. Especially with guys like Barnes, who's coming back off his serious injury, and Terrion, we want to be fit and healthy this year. So you just hope it's the knocks from early camp while the bodies are getting up to speed. But yeah, it's never a pleasant thing with us because you always just assume the worst.
And I'm a slot. I mean, it started off bad with Levi and Uzurike done for the year. So just right off rip, a guy who I actually thought was great bringing back in free agency, be a good interior for defensive lineman for the Lions as we rotate, and he can play the edge. He goes down for the year. Joshua Pascal is not going to be ready till September sometime. What is going on? Like, what are we going to do here? Do you think it's just pre-camp injuries, like not stretching enough? Like, what in the world is going on, man?
I don't know, but it's obviously very concerning with some of the guys that we've really had who are not going to be there early. Pascal, that's not good for him. He's coming into a contract year. He's one of the guys we need to step up at edge to, and the fact he's going to miss all camp doesn't help us whatsoever. And going into the season, it's going to take him time to get going. We can ill afford that. Having Wingo out till September is disappointing because, again, he's only going into his second year. He's not played much. He's been hurt for most of it. He's missing another entire camp, but he's one of the only few interior pass rushers we've got left on this team now that Levi and Aleem are hurt. And you really want him in there and playing. And it's the D-line injuries that are really causing us the issues because we're so thin on depth right there now. And we've still got two starting positions up for grabs. And when you're losing guys who can potentially go out there and take it, it's tough. And, they need to be out there looking for bodies. They need to be bringing them in. Brad needs to carry on adding to this roster because what we've got right now is not enough in some areas. So it's tough. We're missing some guys in really key areas for us who just cannot afford to miss camp or season. And obviously with Barnes, you're praying that's a little one because we've got no other Sam linebackers on the roster who are as good as he is, and it's an integral part of the way we play. So yeah, it's tough.
It's absolutely tough. Derrick Barnes has said a hand injury. I'm going to assume if it's a hand injury, he can probably just throw a cap. Whatever it is, right, you should be able to play with a hand injury. I mean, it's not the end of the world, especially day 5 of training camp. A little bit worried about the Terrion Arnold. Just said lower leg injury. We don't know the extent of it. We cannot lose him for an extended period of time. His development is so important, and he has been developing so far this offseason and into training camp as of right now. He's been very feisty. He's been well going against Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams interception the other day. So we need him to be on the field, and this defense needs him significantly. What have you seen so far in training camp from defense standpoint that gives you hope, and what scares you a little bit?
I mean, the secondary gives me big cause for hope. I've seen that Brian Branch is out there pissing off all the wide receivers with the way he's playing and riling them up. And he's just, I absolutely adore Brian. Like, he's going to be such a great player for us. And, he's absolutely in his element right now. DJ Reed's been playing well in there. Like, the secondary is great. And if that front five is healthy going into the year for the first time in years, I think we can safely say we don't have to worry about that back end of the field. Like, Mike, how many years have we been doing this and we've been like, oh, well, it's great, but we're just going to get diced up by bog standard average passes in the league because the secondary's no good. So it's great to see having maybe one of the best back fives in the league, per se, if they're on, they're the best safety duo in there. DJ Reed is right up there in amongst cornerbacks. Terrion's one of the most promising rookies out there. Ameek's one of the best slot corners. So it's been very positive to see them get off well. It's just the D-line that worries me. It really does. It's the depth, and it's where's the pressure coming from on the quarterback other than Aiden right now. And, I want to see guys stepping up into those roles and really filling out because, guy's coming off a broken leg, and I don't want to just say to him, look, Aiden, you've got to be the guy who goes out there and does this, because at the minute we've got a load of chunky nose tackles and, one-techs and stuff in this side. Don't have much pressure coming from the interior, and you've not really got anyone who's staked the claim for opposite him yet. I mean, they all hope Davenport's it. I mean, once bitten, twice shy, all that sort of stuff. I'll believe it when I see it. Ahmed's young and raw. Pascal's just not practicing. Mohamed's not practicing at the minute. It's more so not what I've seen from him, but who I've not seen out there. There are a lot of guys I want to see out there who are not out there, which is the worry. But the secondary looks great.
Yeah, 100%. I concur with you right there. Just a lot of injuries. I do love what I'm seeing from the secondary. That's why we need to have Terrion Arnold, because he has taken that next step. And I feel like DJ Reed, with his size, I would like to see Terrion Arnold probably on the bigger receivers. And that's why we need to have him on there. I think this defense in the secondary will be fit if everything is good, for sure. What do you think about the offensive line? So we had Graham Glasgow do center today. Right guard was Tate Ratledge. And are you concerned about the offensive line? Frank Ragnow retirement, having a mix-up there, just kind of see. I expected this, honestly, for the players to kind of go back and forth just to see how it is. But what do you expect for this Detroit Lions offensive line in 2025? And are you encouraged, discouraged from what you're hearing in training camp and what you're seeing?
I'm not surprised they're changing them round. I think you've got to do your due diligence with it. As much as you've got to train Ratledge at centre, you do need to see Ratledge at right guard as well, if that's what he's going to play, and vice versa. It's all about the fun.
Yeah, it's all about the
ball
something.
And can you get the timings up? Can you get all that part of your game going? Like the fundamentals is the key thing. If you can't snap it properly, if the timings are off, if you're not calling the protections right, etc., then then you've got to put Graham in there. That's what he's for. He's the veteran, and you can just acclimate to the NFL. I'm not concerned. They're going to move him around. I think Mahogany's doing great at left guard. He will be the left guard for the season. I've got no worries about him whatsoever. It's just these other two. Which position do we play them in? Where do they start at? It's going to be slow going to the start. I would play them in preseason. I know people think that, it's an outdated thing now, but I think you need cohesion on your line, and you've got to give them snaps in a game environment. Especially when you're replacing three guys on the interior and moving them round, and there's two rookies in there. I think you've got to take the risk and go for it almost. Because we've got plenty of depth you can bring in, and you can help with Aguakun's doing well. I have a sneaky suspicion Aguakun might get a look in there at some point if Ratledge doesn't, because he is a college center. He knows exactly what he's doing, and Dan loves him. So I'm optimistic. I think there's a lot of depth in there. I think they'll push one another, and I think we'll see a lot of changes. It's not going to be a smooth process, but we'll get there. Hank will get them to where he needs to.
I'm encouraged too. I know it's going to take a step back, and you lose Frank Ragnow. It's going to happen, folks. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be issues, but I'm encouraged with what I'm hearing from Tate Ratledge and what I'm seeing from this offensive line. And we do got the best offensive line coach, I think, in the NFL. So if there's one guy that can get it done, we already know who can get it done. So I'm encouraged with that. What I'm really encouraged about with the offense, though, I got to say, is the two-back sets with Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I have been clamming for this since we got Jahmyr Gibbs. Why not have them on the field at the same time? That brings a lot of pain to a defense. You can do so many. You can run inside, outside. You could do a screen pass. You could do a pass, dump off. You could do dump off to both of them. You could do max protection because they both can block. I think it's a great thing, and I think this offense is going to show some spice that we haven't seen.
Yeah, you're right. When you've got two guys of their skill sets, you having them out there, it gives you a different wrinkle, and it's something Ben Johnson didn't really do either. So if people think they know your offense and we're throwing something completely different out there, it's going to make the offense a lot harder to guard against. We're not just going with all the stuff Ben did. I think this works better with them two on the field at the same time. I think that works if you've got a reliable running back three you can call upon if one of them gets hurt. Obviously, the way we've worked with them is we've rotated them over their careers, and it's worked. You keep them fresh, you keep them healthy, you've always got one of them who's ready and raring to go. If you're playing them both for a significant amount of time and you're doing a lot of two-back sets at once, I think if you've got a running back 3, that helps. If one of them does take a knock and you wear one of them down, I think we've not really had that in recent years. I know Craig has done his thing, but it's not really someone you want to bring in to take on a decent load. You want him in a backup role. If Farkey takes the step forwards this year that we're promised he's going to, and that everyone's saying is this amazing kid who's going to do all this, that, and the other, then that's great. I mean, hell, use Varkey and Gibbs, because they're the 2 real live wires you can kind of put anywhere and do a lot with, and then work it that way. So I'm all right with using the 2 guys, but so long as a third steps up to provide cover for the room, to give them time to rest from it.
For sure. Sorry, I was messing with something really quick. Someone says that the title is a joke. I'm not joking. This title is real. It just happened in practice. I'm not lying to you, and here it is. I am not lying. 2 Detroit Lions starters leave practice camp early Thursday. Detroit Lions officials Andre interrupted for training camp. Per team, Terrion Arnold is getting evaluated for a leg injury, while Derrick Barnes left practice with a hand injury. The level of injury at this point is unknown. I didn't personally witness either player suffer their respective injury, nor did I see the manner in which they left. However, both were noticeably absent during the final segment 11 on Revan drills. I wasn't joking. That's exactly why I started the thing early. I was going to start it at noon. It's not a joke. That's exactly what happened. It's not something I would laugh about. I do not want Terrion Arnold or Derrick Barnes to get injured. I wanted to start at noon today, not at 11. It's terrible news. I don't like none of these injuries. You just look at all the injuries. We're just banged up. It's not funny. I mean, I guess it's we have to laugh about it because it's like, what do you do, I don't know what else to do. It's in the drink at this point, man. It's in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, like I say, it's just we're scarred from having so many guys banged up last year, which kind of felt lowered what we could do, and we couldn't have been as good as we could have been with all these guys there. It's just a worry, especially with training camp. We've got 4 preseason games coming up. You want to see some of these guys in there. You want to get through it. But the thing is, we've got a tough start to the season. We've got a very tough start to the season, and you want to be as healthy as possible for that stretch because, you start off with 2 NFC North games, never easy. Then you're on the road to the Bengals, the Ravens. I think the Chiefs thrown in there somewhere pretty early as well. So, you want to be fully healthy, ready to go, because you can get behind the 8 ball early. And if you get behind the 8 ball and you're a bit knocked up and, soon you lose traction. So you've got to start as you mean to go on, really, in this league. And that's what we've done well in the last couple of years. We've started well, set a good foundation, taken the pressure off a little bit and being able to get through the season. So, yeah, we're just at this moment praying we can get as many of them to day one as possible. But like Dan says, you've got to get them ready. These knocks are kind of a thing that are going to happen in preseason and training camp and that, and unfortunately is part and parcel of it. We saw 2 guys stretch it out of the Dolphins one yesterday. One's out for the season. One's in hospital. Justin Fields has dislocated his toe. You've got injuries coming all over the league with these happening. So it is unfortunately a part and parcel of it, and we've just got to pray we don't get the bad end of it really going into the year.
I know there's some power outages in Detroit and all in Michigan too. There is. It's really, really hot in the state. Make sure you guys cool off. If you got some power issues, it's a hot one. I think it's like the hottest day of the year here. It was already 90 some degrees at 10:30 in the morning when I did my walk. So make sure you guys stay safe out there. James Janella, what is up, man? Appreciate you in the building. I'm sure Taylor Alexis Janella is around you as well. So what up, Doe? And prayers to Taylor Alexis Janella. Holy smokes, she got injured pretty bad, and coming back from injury, smashed pelvis and everything. So prayers up to her to get healthy. That is terrible. But yes, they were injured, folks. They were injured in practice. We don't know the severity of the injury yet for Terrion Arnold or Derrick Barnes. Prayers up that it's not severe. It's popped up on Pride Detroit. It's on all the beat writers right now, and so that is the big issue. Special teams, I haven't seen really any nothing to take away. Everything is fine right there. I feel like the offense is going to be good still. I don't know. I don't know about you, man, but I'm a little bit more encouraged. And then I'm hearing what's going on with Bears training camp. And I'm even more encouraged. Because Caleb Williams can't even get their offensive line set, and Ben Johnson's freaking out. Could this offense be? Do you think that we could take a step forward? Because you see Jamison Williams. I think he likes his new wide receivers coach a little bit more. I'm hearing when you hear David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs speak about Johnny Morton, it's good. Same with Sam Laporte. Do you think this offense could be better? Do you think that maybe he's a better voice in the room?
I do, and you've got to understand, like a lot of our guys are really young on the offense as well. But you look at where they're all at now. Obviously, Jared Goff is at the peak of his powers at the minute, playing some of the best football he ever has done. You know, your running back room, Monty's good for 1,000 yards a year every year. Jameer had his massive breakout last year. Like he's on pace to break Billy Sims's records here and that, which is just crazy considering he's been in a rotation for 2 years. But then your receivers, like J-Mo's had his breakout now. Like I know people say this has to be his breakout. Yeah, I don't know any other receiver who has 1,000 yards who's been told he still needs to break out. But he's figured himself now. He's figured the league. He knows where he's at, and he's going to be at the peak of his powers. Amon-Ra's at the peak of his powers every year. Laporta's had the sophomore year in the league now where he's adjusted to it as well and looked like he got to grips where people figured him out. Like all these playmakers now are in their prime or entering their prime years. They're not young anymore. So you've just got so many varied targets on this team that you could just go at again and again and again. And it's what makes our offense great. What did we have? 4 guys last year who had 1,000 plus scrimmage yards. Laporta had like 800. You know, it doesn't rely on one person being great, but they're all now at a point where I think they've all gone through their growing pains in this league. And that's dangerous because they're just all going to want to break out now. So, yeah, if you get the offensive line sorted, if the offensive line is only average this year, the playmakers you've got around them is just going to elevate them a lot higher. And we've still got 2 great tackles on this team. We still do have a veteran who can play very well in the interior, and we like our rookies. So the offense could not really see much of a drop-off this year, which I think is very encouraging. So I'm looking forward to them. I think just people just love to say it's all Ben's thing, but they're haters. They don't understand what this team's about. It's not one guy. It's a big input from a lot of people. And, you know, Dan laid the foundations for him. Johnny Morton laid the foundations for Ben. Everyone's had an input in there. And again, the players at their disposal, you know, it's insulting to them to say that they've lost an OC and they're going to become bad now because they're the guys who made the system work. They made this complicated system look so simple because they're well drilled, they're well trained, they execute perfectly. There's no reason to believe that's not going to change. That's going to change under a new regime. They're going to carry on executing to a very high level, and sure as hell they're going to be able to get themselves set in practice and not thrown out of 7-on-7s like some other NFC North teams.
Is this the Jared Goff revenge about the Ben Johnson here? Because everybody says about Ben Johnson and he made Jared Goff. And what we're seeing now, at least in training camp, offense looks great. Jared Goff looks the same. Chicago Bears offensive line can't get set. Caleb Williams wears fingernails and he wears flowers on his head.
It's, you know, doubting Jared at this point, if you were a betting person and you were asked, you know, are you going to bet against Jared Goff? There's going to be something wrong with it. You're going to look at the track record and you're going to go, no, I'm not. Because think of all the accusations that have been levied against him. Like, he's a turnover machine. Yeah. Like, he fumbles all the time. He doesn't. You take out that one game against Houston last year, and every quarterback has a bad game every now and then. Still led us to a clutch win. His turnovers, not that bad. So that problem's gone. Oh, he can't play in the cold. What is he, in the sub-zero freezing temperatures? He's like 4-1 with one of the highest QBR ratings in the NFL when he's in the cold. Lambeau Field is our home now. We've won the last 3 times we've been there in December and January. Yes. So he can't play in the cold. Well, yes, he can. He can't play when he's blitzed and under pressure all the time. He's statistically one of the best QBs in the league when he's pressured. How many plays did we see last year? Like, there's one play where he got hit and spun around twice and just stopped and threw a dime to Amon-Ra, like 20 yards down the field. He ain't phased when he's under pressure. So, you know, you keep making excuse after excuse. He can't do this. He's not good at that. And he keeps proving you wrong. And now the last thing they've got to go after is, oh, it's Ben's offense making him look good. This is the last bastion of any sort of major criticism you could put against Jared. If he thrives without him, what are you going to go at next? People all call him a big game choker. People call him a big game choker, but he won the first playoff game in Detroit for 30 years. That's about as big as it gets for this team. He's taken us to an NFC championship game. He's led us to some fantastic victories in his time here. Like, people are running out of ammunition to slander him with, and, that's why it gets more and more desperate. That's why they're going after him so bad, but he just keeps proving people wrong again and again and again.
I got asked on ESPN Radio yesterday who has the most pressure in the NFC North quarterback, and I said Jordan Love, and they're like, what? Why do you say that? And I'm like, well, they're like, it's got to be Jared Goff. I said, well, I don't know. They chant Jared Goff's name at Ford Field, and they are wanting Malik Willis over there in Green Bay when Jordan Love was injured. So I don't think that JJ has much on him right now. He's kind of a rookie. And Caleb Williams, they're not going to do anything with him at this year. So I went with Jordan Love because he can't stay healthy. I think Jared Goff will be fine this year. It just all depends on the offensive line, right? If the offensive line is really good, then the Lions' offense is going to be really good. I'm not worried about it. Hey, Lions Talk Live, Spirit Detroit in the building. What is up? Someone asked about, should we get Z? I want to bring Zadarius Smith back, but now it's like they ain't done nothing, and maybe they're just not going to do it. What do you think about Zadarius Smith?
I think he needs to get his lazy ass back to camp. We want a Super Bowl this year, and Dan has said, and this team's ethos is, you've got to earn your way onto this team. You've got to be here. You've got to go through the grind with your teammates and earn your way on this spot. I think bringing him in last minute and him just taking edge 2 kind of spits in the face of that. Even though I would do that, because I just don't really rate any of our other edge options on this team at the minute. I think he would walk into this team and be edge 2. I think you've still got to show commitment and willing to the cause. You've got to come to camp and fight and earn your place. I get he's a vet and that, but he's never won a Super Bowl. Like, he should be wanting a Super Bowl ring and going after one of those, and we need him here. So if there is a deal, there might not be a deal, so it might not be down to him, but if there's going to be a deal made, they need to haul ass and get it done now before the Hall of Fame game and get him ready and integrating into this team. We need to be good to go. We need to figure out where we're at. So yeah, if it's not done by the Hall of Fame game, then I've really no interest in doing it at that point. I'd rather look elsewhere for more edge help, for someone who does want to come here.
Alex Anzalone dealing with a contract issue. He's not happy about that. They brought in, Sheer White for a visit the last night, 29-year-old linebacker. Do you think that this is what are they gonna do with Alex Anzalone? They're not gonna extend him. Is that a ploy? They said Jack Campbell's the future in the middle. What do you got?
You know what? I'm not. A lot of stuff has been said about Alex, how he's holding out, how he's holding the team to ransom, how he's been ungrateful, etc., etc. That's balderdash, as we say over here. He's there. He's not in Florida like Trey Hendrickson is holding out from the Bengals. He's there at camp doing what he needs to do, rehabbing from it. I've seen people suggesting the injury's fake, and I'm just like, that's just disrespectful. You've gone at him for holding out, which is a lie. You've gone at him for, besmirching the team and whatever on, whatever. That's a lie. Now you're going to say he's in. You just keep making up lies about him. Alex, and I didn't even like Alex when we signed him. He's been the epitome of a Lions player since he got here. He's been a captain since he got here. All 4 years, he has been one of the leaders of this team, and we've seen. It was the same with Ragnow. People slandered Ragnow, said he's doing this and that. It turned out he was lying. Our central players don't act like that. And he's been very honest. He wants a new deal. Kudos to him. He should get one.
Yeah.
But, I get where the Lions are coming from. There's only so many people you can pay. He is a bit of an older, player now, and you want to be careful with it. But I see Alex's point at the same time. After Hutch went out last year, like, the most noticeable player on that team, the biggest drop-off in this team when someone got injured was Anzo. Mm-hmm. And I know Jack's coming through and they're saying it's Jack's defense and that, but it's not a case of we need Jack or Anzo. We need them both. Yes. Like, this is not a case of going into the season with one of them. This is a case of we need a good team with good depth and good players, and we need the pair of them. So I hope they find a way to work it out, and this is the problem with having so many young players and doling out so many league-leading deals. I don't think people realize how many league-leading or league top 5 deals we've got on this team at the moment. And we've got another 5 to come. You can't keep handing out max deals all the time to these players. You want to hand a max out to Hutch. You want to hand a max out to Branch. You want to keep handing out maxes to people. The trouble is, then when it comes to these like 10, 11, $12 million contracts, the lesser ones for guys like Anzo, your vets, you've got no room left for them, and you're going to create an unbalanced roster where you've got a core of young guys getting paid the absolute world, and you can't balance it properly. And this is the problem we've got with Anzo now. They're obviously trying to save money for Hutch and other guys like that, but you need veterans like Anzalone on your team. He's really important to us, and I'd pay him. I'd find a way to do it. I'd give him the same contract he's on now, but over 2 years instead of 3. That bumps him from about 6 million to 9 million, something like that. I mean, if he's happy with that, I think it's great, but they need to get a deal done with him. Like, there's no one who can replace on the team what he does right now, and he's earned it. And if the motto of this team is you earn your way in here and we look after you, that's got to apply to just more than the young players. It's got to apply to the vets as well. And it's really the first time we've come across a sitch where a vet truly deserves a new deal here. We've not had it so far because we had no vets when they arrived. So They need to look after him.
I think, here's the deal. He's going to play this year, folks. He already said he's not going to hold out or anything. So he's here. He's going to play no matter what. I would like for him to get a pay raise just because I agree with you. I do think he deserves a pay raise for this year. If they feel that they can't get a long-term deal done, I get it for a long-term deal. But for sure, he does deserve a pay raise for this year. We got the money to give him a pay raise this year. I would like a long-term deal done. I don't know if that's going to be in the plans. But he's good this year. That is in the plans. Like, that's 100%. What up? We got Speak Easy in the building. What up, Doe? Speak Easy in the building. He is getting it done over there for Woodward Sports. Getting it done. If you got questions, throw it in the comment section. We're live here. Terrion Arnold went down in practice today. I have yet to hear any updates on the injury. Terrion Arnold and Derrick Barnes. Terrion Arnold with a leg, Derrick Barnes with a hand. We'll see the extent of it as Lions training camp continues. And we're not even in pads, Ant-Man. Why are we... What is going on? We're not even in pads. These guys are just fighting and brawling. They stopped practice early again today because of that.
I know. I think it was Norris yesterday and Branch today. It's the safeties. It's them DBs, man. They're chippy, but at the same point, I like that. I like DBs that chat and when they've got the skill to back it up, like Branch does. He's getting in Amon-Ra St. You've got to see that competitiveness there. It's what drives them on to be great. And I know people do some people critique the way Dan runs his training and that, but the way Dan's run his training has brought us successive NFC North titles. It's took us to an NFC Championship game. It's took us to 15 wins for the first time. It's took us to a number 1 seed for the first time. We've broken so many boundaries with the way he trains. And then you look at all the major injuries on this team, Malcolm ACL, McNeil ACL, Davenport had his arm chopped in half by an illegal block. It's a lot of these injuries that are happening are not as a result of the training. There are very few soft tissue muscle injuries that is happening, any friendly fire in camp that's happening. These are injuries that you just can't really account for on the team. So I don't think the training is that much to blame. Yeah, there's a lot of knocks right now, but again, these aren't knocks knocking people out for a long time. And the guys who are not going to be back until in the season, these are injuries lingering from last year. So, I think he does it right. He gets them ready and he gets them trained. It's just we have really bad luck during the season in terms of getting our guys, just some bad injuries and injuries that can't be helped. So it's tough, but the way works.
The luck is bad. It is bad.
It's
but
terrible.
You got to be physical. They have to be this way. Because Dan Campbell's right. You got to prepare the body for the NFL season. It's very physical, and that's the way you do it. He's 100 correct. Just these guys, I don't know what is up here. They just cannot stay healthy. It's crazy luck. Crazy luck. 9 drinks in the building. What's up, man? Miles Marcus says, good conversation. Been listening. Austin, besides Hutch, is DJ Reader our next player on defense? Well, let me get my thing up here. I hope he's not injured next on defense. Where is I got to get this one. Get my buddy the Ant-Man on it. There we go. Whoa, you look huge. You look really weird on this next one. I gotta make you look better. There we go.
I always look weird, Mike, so
dude,
it's fine.
You look giant. You look like you're twice my size, but we're going to go with it. What's up, folks? If you got a question, throw it in the comment section with gigantic Ant-Man here. He is a big dude. I'm trying to get the feed up right now for you guys. All right, let's get the questions. Send it out here. Besides Hutch, is DJ Reed our next best player on defense? Right now, who do you think's the next? I'll go with Brian Branch. Who do you got?
I'm with you. Brian Branch is our most talented player by far. Like he's going to be a transcendent talent in the NFL. I think no one other than Hutch on our team can boast that kind of a ceiling. DJ Reed is very good, but like Branch's ceiling so much higher. And I think even now, after 2 years, he's cemented himself as one of the best players on this team. Period.
Says Branch, JMO, Hutch, or Laporta. One is probably going to have to go just because of the money. I think Aiden Hutchinson gets paid before week 1. Brian Branch is definitely going to be here. What do you think about? I think Laporta's going to be here. Oh man, it's a lot. What do you think? Can we get all these guys back?
No. It depends because you've. Oh, thanks, Speakeasy. That's cool. Yeah, that's cruel. Is Mike not older than me? Are you older than me or are you younger?
I am 40 years old.
I'm 35, so I'm older than you, but I'm younger than you, but I'm your dad. So we're living in the chronosphere here. No, we're not going to be able to pay them all unless you start cutting some of your big players at the top. That'd be like getting rid of Jared Goff or something like that. Some of the more veteran contracts, your Taylor Deckers, you need to get rid of them to be able to pay all these guys. Because again, you're paying a Liam top 5 DT money. You're paying Amon-Ra. I mean, even if you're not paying them top 5, you're still paying them tens and tens of million. You're paying them tons of money. Amon-Ra has got his deal. McNeil's got his deal. Goff's got his deal. Like so many of these guys, Kirby's got his deal. You add those 4 to the equation, you've got 9, 10 massive deals on your roster, and you can't. That just will lead to an unbalanced roster. The bottom of it is going to have to be cheap guys. You'll have no Anzalones. You'll have no middle guys. You'll have no older vets who cost you a bit more money. You're just going to have to be really cheap, and it's going to unbalance everything. So, no, they won't all be paid. If it's me personally going with all that, Laporta's the odd one out at tight end. I ain't paying top end tight end money for another tight end again. I think JMO is sensational, and there are a few wide receivers in the league who can do what he does properly at the level, and you need to keep him. Hutch, you obviously want to keep. He's one of the best edge rushers in the league. And Branch he's going to be one of the best at his positions as well. I think Laporta's the odd man out, and I hate to say it, but it depends what money he wants. I ain't paying upwards of $20 million for him. I send it to the other guys.
That is a lot of money. I'm surprised you kept your straight face while I was flying around little tiny micro.
Oh, you're trying to break me. I'm accustomed to your ways now. I'm accustomed to your ways.
I'm always trying to break, man. Hey, we're getting ready for the NFL. We're actually going to have a Lions game here in a week, man. It's going to be epic, right? We got preseason next week, 7 days here. So I'm getting pretty excited for that play-by-play. We got Ant-Man from Roar Lions UK. We got Ant-Man the GOAT. We got Ant-Man the Great One. Are you doing live streaming play-by-play this year too? You doing that again this year?
Our channel will be. I generally tend not to be on them because I'm too busy talking shit on Twitter all the time, but I will be on some of them, especially for the preseason ones, so you go and check me out. I'm just not naturally a commentator per se. I am the one who likes to go online and talk smack about the other team, so we all have our talents. And besides, I wouldn't try and make inroads with you, Mike. You're the GOAT at this. You're the best. People need to watch you when it comes to that. Like, it's...
I don't care. It don't matter. Everyone can do it. It's all about having fun, and we're about having fun with the Lions fans, and then obviously we have fun with other fan bases that's in there as well. Question from Isaac Runday, and I can't wait to watch Fantastic Four. I'm excited for that one, by the way. Do you Hutchinson will be as powerful this year because of his gruesome injury he had? Yeah, it's a leg injury. It was a broken leg, clean cut. He's fast. I think he's back on track to be Aiden Hutchinson. That's my personal opinion. What do you think?
I think he'll be just as good. I mean, you kind of hope the injury's not affected him anyway, but it's just the aura he gives off. It's like he's going to come back and he's going to act like nothing happened and he's going to pick up where he left off from. So I don't think there'll be any issues with him whatsoever. His size, his build, like he's going to carry on being an absolute menace. So yeah, I think he's going to be just as good as before. It may take him a few weeks just to get back up to speed because he's not played in a while, and you just want to get rid of any lingering nerves you've got in your head about your leg and how it performs. But once you've got a game or two under your belt, you've taken some hits and you're ready, then you're all good.
I do. If anyone knows me, I mess around a lot on this stuff, man. This stuff's fun, just to dink around with. If you, it's
You'll be getting an early bedtime, son. I'm your dad, and I can send you to bed early. So you.
Hey, we're getting back at it, man. I'm telling you what. This is when I start having fun. This is where we're having fun because this stuff. I tell you what. I don't know about you, Amman, but this off season has been really long and boring. And I was exhausted from doing this type of stuff, and I am back to having fun, man. So we're getting back. Everybody's laughing in there. Hey, well,
yeah, I'm ready for the
show, but we're dumb at it too. Like we like to do stupid things.
We are absolutely.
That's what makes it the best. That's what absolutely makes it the best. Eat those picks, micro hands. Yeah, that's right. I got big. So what is your expectations for preseason next week? We got a preseason game next week, Thursday. What are you looking forward to and all that?
You know what? It sounds silly, but I am looking forward to watching a lot of these depth battles that we're going to have going on. Like guys who are like seeing the likes of Ian Kennelly fighting to get on the roster. I'm looking forward to that, like the safety battle. You want to see Strickland playing well. I'm looking forward to that. In terms of, you're looking at your linebackers. We need linebacker depth in there. The D-line, I'm going to be interested to see who they put out, who can show out. There are jobs to be won. There are depth spots to be won. So I really want to. Let me just. Hang on there. There we go. I don't need to see my wrinkles, Mike. I'm just looking forward to seeing the depth battle altogether. Like there are a lot of positions with depth that need to be fulfilled, and so I'm looking forward to those battles, seeing really who stands up and gets those last few spots on the roster, and I'm just looking forward to seeing football again as well. Like the Hall of Fame game will be up till 4 a.m. watching a Hall of Fame game, but I don't care. I love it. I want to get back to my 5 nights a week, going till 4 a.m. watching NFL and college football. It's what I live for.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch the young talent because we know we're not going to see any starters, but I just want to see the young talent out there. I want to see what Hendon Hooker can do. Yeah, obviously, it's a big year for Hendon Hooker. They're going to give him a ton of reps. For the offensive line. You talked about that, or we already discussed that earlier, man, and you're correct. These guys need to get their reps in, these young guys. So I'm really excited to see that. And I got to tell you what, man, Tesla from Hudsonville, someone put that in the comments, and Ahmed Hassanin. Like this guy's got a never-ending motor, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do in preseason. He's just going to be going after it. So there's a lot of exciting things to be watching in this year's preseason. Now we all don't like 4 preseason games, but guess what? Preseason is better than no season.
And you need them. Like Hooker's another one I'm watching. Hendon Hooker needs to play well, otherwise he might not be coming with the team this year. The quarterback battle is going to be very interesting. I want to see it be very fair between him and Allen. Just give them a half of each game, alternate who starts and gets the second half, and just let them really go hell for leather with it because, we're going to need a good backup QB this year. Kyle Allen has played in the NFL. Hendon Hooker is the supposed younger rookie with more upside. Which one of them wins out? It's very important for us, and I think having the 4th game is actually a good thing. It's more reps, like who can fight through it all, who can play 4 full games, really, really want this, still be healthy, be ready to go into the season. Like, it's an opportunity for so many guys to put a marker down for this, and it's going to be important for us because depth is what held us back last year, and that's what we can build with these 4 games. So I see it as more of a blessing having 4 than just 3.
James Janela, he states it's right. Davenport is balling in camp. Hope it translates in regular season. Oh, I'm with you. He has been balling in camp. And I don't know if you watched the interview with Davenport. Was it yesterday or the day before he did? I think it was yesterday. Boy, his answers are intriguing, but he got asked some hard, tough questions by the reporters, and how they worded it was kind of prick move. Do you feel like you're the forgotten man on the team? Can you make it through practice?
I mean, they're honest questions. Like,
It's sad though.
the thing is, Davenport came in with all the hype last year. Oh, we've got him cheap because he had a year out with the Vikings. And then you remember he got hurt towards the end of camp, ended up not playing week 1 in the NFL season, had to have a bit of a ramp up, played a couple of games, then got hurt and was out all year. And, it's a case of he's just not been healthy. And how many times have we been through this now? I'm quite consistent with my critique of injured players. Go back to Julian Okwara, everyone was like, he's going to break out eventually. We've just got to give him a billion chances, and he never did. And Emmanuel Mosley, let's keep bringing him back because he's tearing his ACLs and, he's going to be cheap. Never worked out. Like, it just doesn't work.
Holy
None
crap,
of these
dude,
guys.
Hulk Hogan just died, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne died yesterday, and Hulk Hogan just died. 71 years old,
Lord.
man. Just seen it. Yeah, it popped up.
But,
Wow.
But yeah, Davenport has a lot to prove this year. Until he actually gets on the field and stays healthy for a few weeks, I'm just not going to believe any of the hype around him because once bitten, twice shy, 3 times, it's shame on you sort of thing. So, no, he can do as well as he wants in camp, but he needs to step up on the field in the season and stay healthy.
Rest in peace, man. Seriously, to Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. I'm not big into politics. Everyone's like get mad about certain ways. I really don't care, man. These people, whether you even like their music or you like their wrestling or not, they're kind of iconic, whatever. But rest in peace to those guys. Crazy, two people dying that quick. 71. I don't know how old was Ozzy. 74, 75. He was a legend in your area. He's loved over there.
He did his last show just a couple of weeks ago, Black Sabbath, and they had all these, guys out for him. He had to sit in a chair for the entire thing, but his voice held up for the most part. And some of my friends were there for it because a lot of them are big Sabbath fans. It transcends music what they did. But just a couple of weeks ago, he was doing his last show, and now he's gone. He held out to that last show, which would have been big for everyone to say bye in person. So, but yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah, icons, man. Great music, and he was going all the way to the end. But like you said, he was going all the way to the end. They both them put a lot of miles on those bodies, though. Ozzy with the drugs and the partying, Hulk Hogan
and
with
wrestling,
the steroids and enlarging of the heart.
See, I just remember the years growing up, with the NWO and the Hendrix theme and everything to them. Those were the days in wrestling when I was really young and you used to go through that. So,
Robert DeBruce, agree. We don't do none of that. But if someone passed, like I said, yeah, I don't get into all that. But people die, definitely do rest in peace. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the human thing to do, and they're icons, whether you like them or not. They were iconic. And I got to tell you, one of the greatest moments, I know where this is a football stream, but since, the Hulk Hogan died, one of my greatest moments as a 13-year-old boy is watching Goldberg lift Hulk Hogan up in Atlanta, Georgia for the heavyweight champion of the world for, I think it was 77-0, and he won it versus Hulk Hogan, Atlanta, Georgia. It's one of the greatest moments of my entire childhood life. Chant Goldberg. I had no idea. I didn't think he was going to beat Hulk Hogan for the belt. You wouldn't expect that on a Monday Night Nitro, but yeah, that was an epic moment. Obviously, Ozzy Osbourne, Mama, he's coming home.
And the bats of the world rejoiced.
Theo from Crosby died too. He's like a couple days ago. I seen that. What in the world, man? I guess we're getting old, folks. If you got Lions questions, throw it in the comments section, and we will definitely get after if you got some Lions question in here. We got some little bit more time to go. Yeah, Kurt, thank you. Great show. Yeah, we're having fun. We're going to keep it about. In the off season, when there's nothing going on in training camp, there's nothing to talk about. That's a lot of made-up BS. Now you have fun because you can actually talk about something that's real. That's the truth. After the draft, you get about a week after the draft. After that, it sucks ass cheeks till the start of training camp. Oh, you said Hogan and Flair. That was your generation. Yep, I heard that was iconic. I know Hogan and the Andre the Giant was iconic. That was before my time.
Tell you what makes me feel old is seeing the kids of all these NFL stars I know very well, like coming up through college, and you're like, you're not old enough to have college kids yet. Like, I only just watched you play in the NFL. I'm not that old just yet, but the legacies appear, and then you're like, oh my god, that is, it's been a while now.
I was really old. I was watching quarterback. Kirk Cousins, like, I'm 35 and an old man. And I'm like, my God, I'm 40, man. Get out of here, old man. Kurt, you live down the road. You living a good life. Do you think we're bringing back Z after all the signings? I don't know. This is, like, I'm starting to get less thinking it will happen. Because why they wouldn't do it now? Like, we're injury, and they still ain't. It still has not happened. So I'm starting to think maybe not.
And what are you doing with the money? Like, we cut him. So, you cut him, then you look at the money he was on, and you're like, well, you can't really offer him back to what you were going to pay him before. Otherwise, you wouldn't have cut him. So, how much is he really going to play for? Yeah. That's the sticking point with me, because it feels like he's going to ask for a bit of money, but it's going to be basically on par with what we were paying him anyhow. So, we may as well not have done it in the first place. So, it seems more and more unlikely to me. I think if Davenport stays healthy and the time goes by, then they're probably just not going to do it at this point. But it's getting late. And for a start, if it's like a depth player, I don't mind them coming in late. But if it's a starter, you want them in as soon as you can and doing as much as you think. You've got new defensive coordinator, new defensive line coach that he's not been with. You want him to get used to those. So I think the odds are going down significantly. And again, if it's not done by the Hall of Fame game, I think the odds are done entirely.
I want to know if we're going to actually re-sign Alex Anzalone. I really think so. I think we should. I don't know. It could be the ploy, bringing in the linebacker, right? It could be a little. I would like to. He wants to be here. They love him, so why not? But they may not because of other contracts going down the future because of all the young guys. So I am 50-50 on it. He's going to play this year. This is what I'm saying. He's going to play this year. But I don't know if they extend him 50-50 on it.
I think you're setting a dangerous precedent if you don't. Alex came here. They've basically underpaid him for the most of the time he's been here. But again, the core thing is if you play well for us and you're part of this team, we'll reward you. That can't just be a rule that applies for the rookies. It's got to apply for your vets. Because when a player starts hitting 30 in this team, he's going to be thinking, well, are they just going to be done with me? Are they not going to pay me? Are they going to try and shortchange me? Because, we got rid of Zadarius. Zadarius is on the older side. And I know he'd not got the same capital here as Anzo does, but Anzo has earned a new deal here, and we're not talking stupid money in the realm of things in the long run. And if we're just going to say, well, it's age, he's only 31. Again, linebackers can go to 34, 35, 36. And he's looked after himself well. He's in good health. The injury last year, again, freak injury, but not something caused by his body breaking down. He's in some of the best shape of his life, and he's the leader of the defense still. So you set a dangerous precedent if you don't do it. Because then what about Taylor Decker? If Taylor Decker continues playing really well, are we just going to let him go? Because, hey, he's past 31, he's done for. So I hope they get a deal done. He is the leader of this team. There's nobody, put it this way, there's no one on the roster who can replace Alex Anzalone. And I don't include Jack Campbell in that because they're starters together on the team. Jack's not replacing, who's replacing Alex Anzalone? And what's he bringing to this team? It's a massive downgrade, and it's not what we need right before the start of the season. It just leaves a big gaping hole in there. We're going to wait till Malcolm's back in November, which is a long way to go without somebody.
Robert the Bruce, yep, I know exactly what you're saying. You've been in here, so you've been on my sub for so long, you don't even have to. You already know I know. I already know you. Yep, rest in peace to Halter, the brother. Hey, brother. Sorry to cough. Hey, brother. Yeah, he passed away, man. Rest in peace. Miss Karen said right here, deepest condolence, sympathy for all the lost and loved ones, and may God comfort their broken heart in time of grieving. Lifting up the prayers. Rest in heaven. Rest in peace. May God bless your families. Absolutely. 100%. Dr. D in the building. Lisa Dorenzo in the building. Anzo is an AG guy. Played for him in New Orleans and Detroit. Anzo may not fit any longer into the scheme.
He's a Dan Campbell guy.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think he's he's a Dan Campbell guy, and while Dan, you know, he was the first player practically he bought in during this build after Goff. Like they went after him straight away. I don't think this is a scheme thing. You're not going to see many scheme change. The scheme change is going to come with the defensive front, whether it's 3 or 4 up there. I don't think it's going to come with the linebackers. And of course, who's been here his entire career? Shep is his DC now. Like Shep and Anzo have worked together since day one. So to suggest that Kelvin's going to put in a scheme that doesn't fit the team leader who has been with him since day one, who is one of our most important defenders. I don't buy stock in that. Kelvin's going to want to have him on the field every single play because he'll want his leader out there. He'll want his green dot out there. So I don't think he's outdated for this team if that's where we're going.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think he's outdated for the team. I think it's just more of a financial situation of down the road more than anything. That's what I really think it is. I think Brad Holmes, right now, folks, we are over the cap next year at, I think it is $15 million over the cap right now. Now, we can roll some money over from this year. We have over $40 million in cap space. We can roll some of that money if it's going to help out. But remember, we got to pay off Jared Goff. Well, Jared Goff's at $68 million in cap hit next year. So they're going to reduce that. That will help out, right? They can reduce that cap. But still, that's a lot of money. They're going to pay Aiden Hutchinson. So I think it's more of a money thing, personally, than anything. I mean, look with Carlton Davis, right? They let him walk. This is just something that they do, and I don't want him to walk. He's going to play this year. I like Alex Anzalone. It's be a tough one. It's just really tough. Got to change the preseason process. All these injuries are ridiculous, man. They are absolutely ridiculous. Raw Detroit, Mikey and Ant-Man, do you believe linebacker Jack Campbell is ready to lead these young Lions at linebacker? I think he's ready to take that next step for sure. I've seen a lot of growth from him last year. I expect him to take another step this year. If he needs to, he will for sure. What do you think about Jack?
I love Jack. I've always been on the train that I want him to focus on his game first and foremost. Because we've seen linebackers take time to develop in the NFL, you know. There's so much responsibility on your plate at that position. And, you know, I want him to be able to learn his position, his role. And he is. We saw exponential growth for him last year. For me, I just want one more year where he doesn't have to be the leader, where he's not got that on his mind. Because, you know, it'll affect your play when you're getting pinned back and an offense is running no huddle on you and you're under the cosh and you're just here, there, and everywhere. It can be very overwhelming for someone so young to be focusing on his job, but trying to focus on all the organizational aspects and everything. That's what Alex does so well. So this is never a knock on Jack. If he has 3 years in the league, being able to learn off Alex and adapt and get his game ready and then be ready to take on that additional responsibility, I'd feel a lot easier. Could he do it this year? I think he could, but it's my personal preference. He has one more year just to be the guy where he can be himself before he takes over. And then you phase Anzalone out the team after that in that regard. So he will be ready. I just want to give him one more year. That's my own personal thing.
If you can hit that like button, if we get to 100 likes, that'd be great. 44 away. We really do. We got 116 in the building. I think it can happen here. I'm looking forward to seeing Gibbs and Monty on the field at the same time. Ben is dumb for not exploring that. I don't know why he didn't. I think we all called for it. It just makes common sense to put playmakers on the field. So I'm excited that they're doing that. We're hoping it's nothing serious yet at all. Let me look for an update right now. All we know is he was down, so we don't know. I don't know the severity of it. It came on Pride of Detroit, and that's where it is. Okay, so yeah, nothing really on it yet. Just still that they were knocked down, and that's it.
I think
yeah,
you can take some comfort in the fact usually they'll say they were taken off on the cart. If they're taken off on the cart, then there's something wrong. None of them were, so. You know, those little things they say around it, which sometimes indicate worse injuries, were not present there. So you're kind of just hoping they're knocks again from, you know, it's first time in practice. And without your pads on, you've no protection either. So your body's liable to, you know, take a few more hits when it is. And by all accounts, it's been physical. So maybe you like say, Fields got taken off earlier and he's got a bad toe. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world for him. Everyone was saying, "Oh my God, he's really badly hurt." He's not. They've found that out pretty quickly. So, you just hope it's part of the dings of camp and all those little bits. I don't think it'll be anything too bad.
I'm really, really hoping that's the case. We don't know yet. If there is a big update, we'll definitely break it down on here, and I'm sure that the Ant-Man will as well on their channel. I'm sure LNU will do it on their channel. I'm sure Speakeasy will do it on LNU's. His channel, Woodward Sports, I'm sure that everybody will. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. If there's any update on Terrion Arnold, we're going to go ahead and break that down, and we'll talk about it because we don't know, or Derrick Barnes. With that said, folks, Lottie Los.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just